Okay, yeah. So this is updates with Justin Bieber. It's June 22nd, 2025. Like people have to understand where I'm coming from with the situation, right? It's like when it comes to God's purposes, right? I mean, yeah, like it's about a collective, right? If you have similar gifts, then God ordained a collective of people, right? And I feel like Justin Bieber, he was well aware of that. But just because like I sing, it doesn't necessarily mean that Justin has my other gifts. Do you get what I'm saying? I think I think that's what caused a lot of confusion with the situation. He just assumed, well, if I was supposed to join with her, then it must be like everything. And I'm like, no, that's not what God meant. It's just like, let's say if you're gonna apply for like to go work in an office or something, and then you meet, once you apply for the job, then you meet people with the similar ideals, right? That's all it was. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like the fact that Justin, like, he was talking to me too much about me. That was the situation. You know, after a while, you have to look at the other person and be like, Justin, what's wrong with you? Like, for you to be talking about one person so much, what does that prove, Justin? What does it prove to other people? It proves that you never knew what you were talking about from day one. If you want to talk so much about one person. You understand me? I just feel like he's completely toxic. That's how I feel about him. He's completely dysfunctional and toxic. Now he's online. Oh, writing articles about. It was yesterday. Oh, Justin Bieber is sad. Why are you sad about now, Justin? Because you can't be a narcissist in anybody's life? Now you're sad because people start to realize that, you were never the person you've been talking about. That's what you're so sad about? You're sad that this has to end? Is that what you're so sad about? He's absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And when I saw the article yesterday, I just knew like that's not his thoughts for the day. That was like some random person just writing some random article, or it was him tapping into somebody else's energies, and then figuring, oh well, yeah, oh, she's feeling sad. Like, okay, I'll write an article about how I'm sad too. That it's just stupid. Like, why are you so dumb, Justin? I'm sorry, I gotta talk about these things, man. I've met some children along the way. They don't have Justin Bieber type of narcissism. Like, the generation was actually supposed to do some actual work, Justin. You know what I mean? And what's more insulting about this thing is like all Justin Bieber wants to talk about is, singing a song or something. But we know for a fact that was never your origins. So even though you had an opportunity in Hollywood, it doesn't necessarily mean that was your ultimate destiny. And it makes sense because that's why you're stalking. You're stalking the original bloodline. You're stalking me, where the actual energy came from, right, Justin? I'm sorry, but like Turkic people did not. They did not start the music industry. That's just a complete lie from the pits of hell. That's not that wasn't passed down from your ancestors, Justin. It wasn't. I came from a lineage. My lineage, we sing. We've been singing for decades, okay? I'm Jamaican. We sing. I think Justin needs to get over himself. Like, you really need to get over yourself. Like I can't stress enough how much he needs to get over himself, right? Like I think about it, like look how many artists came and went. You know, you had Prince, Michael Jackson, Elvis. You had all kind of artists. They came and went. Some of them stayed in the industry maybe 2 years, 3 years, and then they left. You know, I don't know, this clown. The only reason why he's trying to drag this on, hold on to it, is because he lied. You're trying to hold on to this illusion. It was never true. You need to have some respect. You know what I mean? And I know for a fact that God himself can't even use him because narcissists, they don't change. They refuse to change. Even if they were to come back and say, oh, I've changed, don't ever believe a narcissist, okay? Don't ever. They never change. I had to post these things because right now it's a process of detaching from Justin Bieber, and he needs to detach himself from my actual life, my actual personal life. You're a liar. Stop talking about how you feel sad and all kind of stupidity. Nobody should feel sorry for you at this point. Whatever energies, however you felt in the past, that energy came and went. You understand me? Face yourself right now in this reality, Justin. It's June it's June 22nd, 2025. Face yourself and stop trying to mirror yourself off of the wrong people, and stop trying to connect yourself with people you're not even supposed to be connected to. I don't want this connection with you. Every day it's like some type of, every single day it's all about um you know how much he wants to insult somebody historically. Hey, guess what, Justin? The orphanage in Louisiana, it burnt down, didn't it? And the plantation in Louisiana, didn't it burn down? Why can't you keep up with the times? Why can't you just face the fact that it's over? Huh? Just because you're sad because you can't be a narcissist in people's lives, and then now you're walking around, you're expecting everybody else to be sad for you. Why don't you shut up? It's disgusting. Like, no, like the other artist, this guy needs to pull up his pants. Eh? This guy needs to pull up his pants. Anyway, yeah, like when it comes to minding your own business, just sitting around, like you come to Hollywood, whatever, you would think someone would be there to focus on their own selves and come up with their own. No, he's there sitting there watching me. What does that say, Justin? You sitting here watching me for so many years now. What does that prove? That you were never the person you claim yourself to be. You never were. Sitting around, stalking, waiting for me to talk, to say something, waiting for me. Oh, not, I'm pretty sure you stalk me to the point where I'm sure you're listening to these messages. You understand me? And that's probably the reason why you're like, oh, she has anger issues, and oh, fuck you. I said it. Fuck you, Justin. I don't want you being no fucking counselor to my life. Do you hear me? Why don't you go learn something? You still don't get it. Surveillancing people all day long. You still don't get it. No, he's a sociopath. A fake one. What he was doing, you know what? It makes sense. Like what he was doing back in the day, sitting around, you and your ancestors, sitting around, talking, watching black people all day, talking shit about black people. You understand me? And you thought in this reality, oh, well, I'm supposed to get paid for that? No. That's illegal works, Justin. You know that? That's very unethical. Those type of behaviors. Oh, look at those people over there. Blah 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 blah. And then you're going about, you're running around like an entity that you are, going around telling people, oh, look at that black girl. She did this and she did that and blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Come to find out, it was never true. You understand me? Okay, let me remind you, Justin. I'm not your slave. All these little messed up psychological games, how you want to historically insult black Jewish women. It's over. Do you hear me? It needs to end. All you represent at this point is a bad energy. All you care about is trying to instill some type of harm into my life. Somebody needs to tell you that it's a bad idea. Somebody. I don't even know what, like, at this point, like, I don't even know what he's trying to hold on to at this point. I am a totally different body. You are a different body. There was no, when it comes to, I was saying it in another video, when it comes to these damn flies, man. When it comes to, this fly needs to like dip. Okay, when it comes to I'm too sweet, eh? I'm too sweet. Yo, this fly needs to go. What was I saying? When it comes to Turkish Jews and like black Jews, there, I'm talking about Justin Bieber. Like, his last name is Bieber. There was no union, even out of Canada and even here in the United States. There was no union with these type of Jewish people. You understand me? So like, how could you ever talk about me when we never made the connection? So basically, every single thing that you were doing, you were just spiritually stalking, surveillancing me, right? That's all it is. Don't you think that's a little bit like Antichrist, Justin? You don't see that as delusional? You don't see that? Just like if I walk down the street and, somebody will pass me on the sidewalk, for a fact you would say, oh, I passed that person. Did you talk to that person? No. Do you know that person's name? No. You understand me? But yeah, I got a little description of what that person looks like. You know what I mean? But beyond that, there's nothing else you could say about if you pass a stranger on the street. There's nothing else you could say. But Justin, when it comes to you, like, there was never, you've never even crossed paths with me. You never did. Look how he's over there in Hollywood misusing systems, Justin. Hmm? Anyway, all I can say, it's June 22nd, 2025, okay? And I'm basically a living testimony as to how Justin Bieber chose to treat black Jews, okay? Everything that I'm talking about is my experience based off of how he is treating me as one individual. Okay? Lord have mercy. That's how they treat the world. I'm not gonna speak for Turkish people as a whole, because I've met other Turkish people. I've never met Justin Bieber, but I've met Turkish people in my life, and they've never treated me like shit. They never did what Justin Bieber is doing to me right now in this reality. At the end of the day, Justin, like, people know for a fact that you made these big claims about, oh, you're working for God and you're doing Christ's work, but now people can see for a fact that half of the issues that you were talking about, you were fighting against God's issues. The issue out of a black, be real, the issue out of a black Jew, it's a God issue. It's we exist. I represent a black Jew. And then, it comes back to that. I don't want to talk about it so much because it's so annoying. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see any purpose of fighting against another black Jew. I don't see that way. But it's that whole, like, that issue. I was talking about it before in another video, like last year. There were people back in the day in Babylonia, and then there are people in Persia, and what was the other place? In Palestine, right? So some of them, this was the issue. Some of the German people, no, sorry, some of the Russian people, they made their way down towards where the Jewish people were. You understand me? So it's like there's some confusions over time. That was the issue. Some of them were coming out of yeah, it was some Russian people, and then there was some people from France. They came to those areas. So there was some misconception in regards to who were the real Jews and who weren't. And it's so annoying. I don't want to talk. This is old, really old, a really old issue that's already been resolved, Justin. I shouldn't even have to come online and talk about it because we know the truth already. Justin needs to go take a trip to Russia and like go look at those because they open up the vaults over there, right? All the truth is out there. So he just has to, Justin needs to come to terms with the truth. He knows the truth. That's why he's stalking me. That's why he's still stalking me, because he knows the truth. He knows who are the original Jews. It's me and my bloodline, Justin. You know that. That's how you're stalking my ass. But anyway, I don't talk about this Jewish thing so much, but that was the confusion back in the day, okay? And then, that whole term in regards to like Jew and then Jewish, right? That was the confusion. But it's so annoying. Like I said, like I can't stop being who God told me who I am. that's just what it is. I don't need to fight with anybody. And I don't need to be around anyone who's gonna try and like, oh, let's try and confuse society, because we want to stay on top and we want this and da 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 da. That's done, Justin. You know that? That's done. I don't think Justin actually read the Bible. I mean, like, come on. We know out of the Bible how many who are the progenitors historically out of the patriarchs, Justin. Look how many bloodlines coming out of the Bible. You're crazy for thinking that you are the whole Bible. He's not smart at all. Go read your Bible, Justin. Go read your Bible. It was so stupid for you to fight against God's issues. And he's doing that because he's not a real Jew. He's not. But who cares? You need to go be yourself. I can only be myself. And he's sitting around, he's mad, historically because, they're a base, right? God made it that way. And it's still a reflection, even out of the Canadian government, because they, the Turkish, I lived in the capital city of Canada, okay? That's Ottawa, Ontario. I lived over there. And that's the majority of the people, a lot of people from Turkey. They were there from the 1980s, probably even earlier. The Turkish Jews, they not Turkish Jews, just Turks in general. They have that story coming out of the Ottoman Empire. They were there.